Hey, it's Ben Zoltak with Bottomless Inkwell, and I'm continuing my series on how to be successful at being creative by talking about one of my oil paintings. This is one that I finished a few months ago. Lighting is probably not excellent here, but you can see what I worked on here. This painting is called Torque Clutch, and I picked it because I chose this one to talk about today in particular when talking about how to be successful at being creative, because I have a main vein that runs through my art making, and that is using curves. In paintings, I like to do it sculpturally. So, traditionally, of course, paintings are made into squares and rectangles, and I hate squares. I hate rectangles. No, I don't hate them, but as somebody who has a sculptural affinity, I like to make my paintings a little more sculptural because it's just what I like to do. And also, there's some fun interplay that goes on between making the curves of the painting itself and the structure, the wood that this is made out of. I can show you here. Along with stretching the canvas and watching the form that it takes, and then going forward and making the painting on that. So, but what's interesting, and the reason I bring this up in the context of, succeeding at being creative, is that there's a large amount of risk here, and of course, for a lot of people, this is nothing new. But if you want to be creative, you have to take risks. And when I first started making these kinds of curved, bent paintings, especially, they were breaking all the time. I just didn't know what I was doing. It essentially was building them a little bit at a time and figuring out what I was doing as I went along. So, and now some time has passed. I've had a lot of good friends, chime in with good suggestions, and other artists and other people of different walks of life, and they've offered their opinions and their observations, and have made adjustments. And that's one way to check your own creative game, is to maybe apply some of those observations that other people lend to you, maybe not. It just depends what your aesthetic is. So you can see in this painting, one thing I love to do or get away with, if you're more of a modern, if you have more of a modern foundation with your artwork, one thing you can get away with when you're a painter is these big, broad brush strokes. That there's something real, like, just meaty, like, powerful brush stroke, and the shape of this too, you can see there's like this, it's alluding to some kind of vehicle, there's some sort of speed and action in the movement of the painting itself here. And so all of these things, the way the painting is built, the way the paint is laid on the canvas, the way the raw, just couple brush strokes of, like, just a powerful movement with your brush on the canvas, all of these things add up to successful expression of creativity. So whether you're applying this to art making or whatever it is in your life that you're trying to be more creative at, you do need to take risks. You need to be bold. You need to express some strength, and that's what I'm doing here in this painting, Torque Clutch. So I hope you enjoyed part 2 of how to be successful at being creative, and I'm so glad I finally got that mouthful of a title down. Every time I say it, I'm afraid I'm going to say something else, but I said it right again. So anyway, here's a close-up look. This painting exhibited recently at Table Wine. It's a wine boutique on Atwood Avenue in Madison, Wisconsin, here in the U.S. So great little boutique if you're in the neighborhood. And yeah, so I'm going to continue working on this series, and I may grab another painting to talk about. I may work on some ink. I'm not sure yet, but stay tuned to find out. Nice talking to you all. Bye-bye.